Joining us on this channel, Sports 7 GH, the Women's African Cup of Nations semi-finals will be coming on tomorrow. Yes, Nigeria versus South Africa. Nigeria versus South Africa in one of the semi-final fixtures, and then Morocco versus Ghana also in another of the semi-final fixtures. What a game! What, in fact, it promises to be exciting. Is that not it? The two games, both games, that's what I want to say. Both games promises to be very, very exciting and interesting. And we are going to try our best to dive into both games, Nigeria versus South Africa, and then Ghana versus Morocco. The first game will be Nigeria versus South Africa, which will be 4 p.m. Ghana time, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, and 6 p.m. South African time. We are going to look at all the details of the game. And then the second game will be Morocco versus Ghana, which is 7 p.m. Ghana time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and then 9 p.m. South African time. Is that not it? Yes. So you look at that, and then you look at the very latest news concerning Black Stars players Thomas Partey. Yes, MIKEL Arteta has finally said something about the Thomas Partey's issue. What did MIKEL Arteta have to say? And we are going to talk to you about that in this video on this channel, Sports 7 GH. And then we'll look at some other issues concerned with Ghanaian players, concerned with Black Stars players. Also in this video, do well to subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, and select all. Leave your thoughts, comment, views, opinions below in the comment section if you have any. Thank you very much for staying with us and joining us once again. Now, where are we even starting the issues from? Because the issues are really many. But let's start off with the Women's African Cup of Nations, okay? The Women's African Cup of Nations. Of course, let's start off with the Nigeria versus South African game. It promises to be a very exciting contest. Is that not it? Nigeria topped their group, okay? And then South Africa also topped their group. Nigeria played versus Zambia in the quarterfinals of the competition. They beat Zambia emphatically 5-0 in the quarterfinals. South Africa also played versus Mali in the quarterfinals of the competition, and they beat them. In fact, South Africa played versus Senegal. Yes, they played versus Senegal, and within the 90 minutes of football, it was 0-0. In fact, within 120 minutes of football, it was 0-0. And on penalties, South Africa qualified on penalties with 4-1. So both teams have shown their quality. And if you are talking about the women's football and you are talking about some quality teams in Africa, you will not mention them without Nigeria and without South Africa, okay? Because they have been there, they've tried and in fact, South Africa is the defending champions of this competition, and they beat Nigeria to win the competition. They beat Nigeria to win the competition. So it is like last 4 years or the last 2 years ago, the finals is playing back again. Is that not it? But the thing is that it's going to be a very difficult encounter, and it is clear that it is going to be a difficult encounter, because even though Nigeria came into the semi-finals winning convincingly over Zambia, matches versus South Africa hasn't been that easy. Is that not it? Nigeria versus South Africa head to head, there are 15 wins for Nigeria, 4 wins for South Africa, 6 draws each, and then 4 losses for Nigeria, and 15 losses for South Africa. But don't forget that this is all time head to head. But in recent times, in recent years, from 2000 thereabouts South Africa have really come up, okay, and they've been doing very well in the Women's African Cup, in the women's football, okay. So the biggest defeat Nigeria gave to South Africa was in 1995 World Cup, and it was 7-1. But the biggest defeat South Africa has had over Nigeria is 4-2 in 2021, okay. So it tells you that indeed these two clubs are very top notch and are very good. Now CAF, in promotion for this game or promoting this game, released this flyer of 2 South African and Nigerian ladies watching South African versus Nigeria, the men's football and all of that, and telling everybody that it is going to play out again in the women's football, and it promises to be exciting. Of course, it is Amapiano versus Afrobeat. Amapiano versus Afrobeat. Who will be the winners, or which of the teams are going to be the winners, promises to be very, very exciting. But tomorrow, we are going to see how things will go over there. This is a top of the table clash. And for me, even though I'm a Ghanaian, no, I will not say it, because I still think that Ghana Black Queens can win this AFCON. I'm telling you, I think that Ghana Black Queens can win the AFCON. So I will not say what I wanted to say. But let's move on and talk to you quickly about Morocco versus Ghana. Now, the coach of Ghana, Kim Lass, has said that he knows the Moroccan team. He said, oh, this Moroccan team, I know them very well. But then also, they are the host nation. They will have all their fans with them. And it is going to be a very difficult game. And it is the truth. The coach has hit the nail right on the head in his pre-match press conference, that indeed we are going to play versus a host nation, and you are playing versus a host nation, they are automatically the favorite. And this is Morocco. This is not any other host nation. This is Morocco. So it tells you that it's going to be a very difficult game, both for Ghana and for Morocco. But let's talk to you about the last time Morocco meets Ghana. In fact, ahead of the Women's African Cup of Nations, Morocco played a friendly game versus Ghana in Morocco. They beat Ghana 1-0 ahead of this same Women's African Cup of Nations. They beat Ghana just 1-0. And in fact, before that, they had beaten Ghana 2-0. Also in one of the games they've played. And then the last time Ghana beat them was, I think, 2021 or so, or 2020. Was that 20? Okay. Let me just. All right. Yeah, I think that's 2021 or thereabout. Ghana beat them 2-0. All right. Yes. So it tells you that it's also a game that is it is open for each of the teams to win. And if you look at the fact that Morocco beat Ghana ahead of the Women's African Cup of Nations, then they being the host nation, obviously it tells you that they are the favorite, a huge favorite going to this game. But the coach of Ghana Black Queens have said that, look, he's very confident. It's going to be a tough game. Of course, maybe the toughest game that is possible in this tournament. That is what the coach is saying. He continued to say that I'm really looking forward to this game, and it's going to be a good memory. Hopefully, this is also according to the Black Queens coach Kim Lass over there, as he shares his thoughts on the Black Queens ahead of the semi-final encounter versus Morocco. Look, Morocco they've had some very decent wins, okay, in the competition, playing versus Mali in the quarterfinals. They dispatched Mali like 3-1, and then also they beat okay, they also beat Senegal. They beat Senegal 1-0. They beat DR Congo 4-2, and then they drew 2-2 with Zambia. And when I was monitoring the Moroccan so far in the competition, one thing is clear: they concede. One thing is clear: they concede goals. The only game they didn't concede was the game versus Senegal, but then also they score. They score very well. Except for the game versus Senegal, they've scored more than 2 goals or more in each of the games. So the Black Queens would have to be very, very careful. This is not Algerian team that doesn't really score. This is the Moroccan team that will score goals, and then also they will concede. So this is a game I'm hoping, and I'm expecting a lot of goals in the game also. Now Ghana, we lost to South Africa 2-0 in the first game, drew 1-1 with Mali, beat Tanzania 4-1, and then we went to the semi-finals by beating Algeria on penalties 4-2. It ended. So Ghana Black Queens have also been very exciting. Tomorrow is the D-Day. All the 2 games are coming on. Nigeria Super Falcons versus South Africa. How is the game going to end? We are going to wait and see how things go over there for the Black Queens of Ghana. But I am tipping the Black Queens to qualify. Yes, I'm telling you, the Black Queens will qualify ahead of Morocco yesterday and tomorrow. What am I saying? The Black Queens will qualify ahead of Morocco tomorrow. It is clear. It is written. Everybody will know that. So don't worry at all. The Nigeria versus South African game, that's the game I don't know what will happen. I really don't know. Because Nigeria have shown that they are very, very quality side. They score a lot of goals. They try to keep clean sheets. South Africa have also shown that they are a very tough side to score against or to concede. They don't really concede like that. So if two teams are meeting like that, it becomes very difficult. But again, I will tip Nigeria to qualify. If you look at the head-to-head crowd now, you can see that Nigeria have some upper hand over South Africa, and I tip Nigeria to qualify. All right, so probably we are going to have Ghana versus Nigeria in the final. According to my predictions for the semi-finals, it's going to be Ghana versus Nigeria in the finals, and then it will be South Africa versus Morocco for the third and fourth. Hopefully, it comes to pass. Is that not it? Yes. Now let's move on. Hey, let's move on and talk to you about Mikel Arteta and Thomas Partey. Mikel Arteta. You know, today Mikel Arteta had an interview, okay? Yes, ahead of the preseason. Arsenal will be embarking on, in fact, they are going to preseason in Asia. And he was asked about the Thomas Partey issue, and he said, Aboga, Arsenal, we've released a statement on that. And according to the statement, the club is not willing to talk a lot about the issue because of there are a lot of legalities and everything concerned. So he wouldn't want to say anything. So that is Mikel Arteta breaking his silence on the Thomas Partey rape case or allegations that has been leveled against the former Arsenal player Thomas Partey. I don't know if that's part of the reasons why they didn't extend the contract, but this is the big one. Mikel Arteta is saying Antoine Semenyo is a fantastic Ghana Black Stars player, and he is revealing or telling us why he decided to stay at AFC Bournemouth. He says that if he was going to move to another club, he was going to join a club that he feels wanted, and he feels very wanted by AFC Bournemouth, and that is why he decided to extend his contract for AFC Bournemouth. Let's listen to Antoine Semen.
I mean, if you go somewhere, you want to feel wanted, and I didn't feel that, so this was my safe place. I felt wanted, and it's good to be back, so yeah, it feels great.
Does it show how much you're enjoying your football right now at Bournemouth?
Yeah, I think I just want to be playing. I want to be playing injury-free. I think that's the most important thing for me. And we've got a good group here, and we're wanting to achieve top things this year, so it's the best place to be.
That's the view of Antoine Semenyo on why he extended his contract for AFC Bournemouth. Jeremy Doku came to Ghana as a player with Ghanaian descent. He spent some few days in Ghana, and this is what he has to say. He says, home is more than a place. It's the laughter of family, the energy in the air, the colors, the smiles in the streets, the food. Home for me is a feeling. Ghana gives me all of that and more. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to spend time with my beloved ones and my loved ones, and the chance to see the beauty of this country with fresh eyes. This is what Jeremy Doku had to say after he visited Ghana for the very first time in his life. Now, Lamine Yamal has released his, in fact, greatest 11 in football history, and it looks like it's a fantastic one. He says, Ike Casillas. Yes, Usa, Ike Casillas know who here. And in fact, Ike Casillas is a very, very quality goalkeeper. Is that not it? He's very quality. He says the right back will go to Dani Alves. The left back will go to Marcelo. Yeah, okay. It says Sergio Ramos and Gerard Piqué will be the 4 and 5. Zinedine Zidane will be the number 6. Neymar Jr. and Lionel Messi will be the 2 number 10s. What a team. Cristiano Ronaldo on the left, and then Ronaldinho on the right, and then Ronaldo. Oh, Charlie, Lamine Yamal ni boom. Lamine Yamal, mala, oh ni boom, rough. Team with a very solid. Hold on, yeah, the details need bro in this video on this channel. And let's hear from you in the comment section, okay? What you have to say about all the issues we've discussed with you. Like the video, hit the notification bell and select all. Definitely, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.